Howdy folks, Doc here with Last Best Tool. And a couple days ago I made a video calling this maybe the best EDC plier ever. It's a 150 millimeter long Knipex plier wrench in the chrome finish, or kind of the anti-corrosion finish. And there was a lot of good chatter in the comments, gave me some suggestions, and one of them I did not know about, and several other people knew about, and others didn't, is there is actually a version of this known as the 8605-150 S02, which actually has some light laser engraved, I assume that's what that is, texture. Now this is all gunked up black because I've been testing it on a few things, and I'll do some of that here. But this is known as a tie wrap plier. And for those who didn't know, a tie wrap is sort of the first name for a zip tie, but a lot of zip ties that have metal in them are still known as tie wraps. Here's some I dug out. I didn't really even think about that. You know, high performance cable ties, and that's exactly what this is. So we're going to try this out on a couple. We've got an all metal and then large and small, but I don't know for sure what it's supposed to do. Obviously, you can generate a lot of leverage with the thing, so you can certainly pull one of these tight. And if you're using, you know, heavy duty ones, that would be great. But my guess is it's also because of that leverage that you can generate, the way that you undo tie wraps or cable wraps or zip ties or something is literally to just crush the mechanism, and then this thing slides out. So we're going to test that. Now, some comments also came in about why don't I carry both of them and see which one I use, and I alluded to that in the Maxpedition video, and I'll get to that in just a sec, but I have done that. I've carried both of these, and I grab this one quite often. But here's where I'm going with this. This has a 10 to 1 leverage. So the question is, do you want grip with teeth or grip with force? And there's pros and cons to both. Definitely a lot of pros to both, but one of the things I discovered is a lot of things I wanted kind of more precision, and with a small form like this, I really notice that increase in leverage. That there were times this would just slip off, or I couldn't hang on tight enough simply because of the way I was, you know, the angle I was holding it at or something. I certainly wasn't able to stand on the back handle here, but I just couldn't generate as much force. So I guess I was leaning towards the force over the gripping texture. So that's one thing. Let me go ahead and get to this. When I did the video on this little Pico pouch, some folks were asking, do the 125s fit in here? So here is a 125 Cobra and a 125 plier wrench right here. So yeah, they fit in, not by much. You can see that the zipper does roll right around, but if you wanted to go with the Pico pouch and use your 125s, you know, have at it. So I thought I'd point that out. So now let's take a closer look at this. I did think about a few others. Somebody mentioned the larger version of the 08. This is a great plier. It's good. It's kind of like a combination or a multi-plier, but in a needle nose. Definitely a possibility. It's got cutters, which so far aren't on any of these. It does have the kind of the nut grabbing there. Fairly limited in size. It's a unique take. I'd put this as like maybe a potential second plier to supplement the plier wrench. But anyway, when you look at the plier wrench, you've got that gigantic mechanism that gives a 10 to 1 leverage. I don't know for sure what the Knipex leverage is. I mean, is this, they're saying 10 to 1. This definitely has leverage. I mean, when you're out here at the end. But it also, you don't have the plier wrench mechanical advantage here. So that's actually something I was after. Now, let's take a closer look at these two. You can see the only difference that I know of is this textured area there. Neither one of these is cheap, but you know, we're talking about maybe the last or the best plier ever for EDC, so there's no price on it. This, you know, compared to some of the others, I can easily smash coins, like this. You know, it's kind of surprising just how, look, I just took a chunk of copper off of this thing. And yes, you can deface the currency like this, the pennies. You just can't, I can't expect to get a penny for this, well, or use it as a penny anymore. So that's how this works. But anyway, that's a huge amount of leverage, just flattening that, just like that. I've got the 180s here. I don't know where my 150 Cobras are. They're somewhere around here. But if I, actually, I've just, watch this. I'm just going to go ahead and get a fresh surface here. Sorry, Abe. This is pretty cool how potent these things are. Go this way maybe. Whoa! Shot across the room, but anyway, there's a nice fresh cut. These, by the way, if you don't have them, this is the Knipex 7401 250s. Just a really nice long-handled cutter. If you aren't going with the Cobalt version, Cobalt. But anyway, so I'll go ahead and try this. I'm going to try to smash this. You know, I'm barely scratching it even. If I go right to the edge, I might be able to do a little bit more damage. But compared to the plier wrench, go in right about there. And, I mean, it's just crush it. That's crazy. One-handed. That is just so much more powerful to be able to just flatten it. So that's kind of what I was going after over the grip. So force or grip. Now let's go ahead and test these things. Wow, that is really stuck in there. It's interesting when you have texture, and maybe that's why they don't put big teeth on it, because you could really do some damage. Let's go ahead and wrap this with a tie wrap. Go ahead and use my pliers here to maybe pull it nice and snug on there. So this is the textured one here. So yeah, you could use it to obviously pull. It does grab it very tight. But then how do you get this thing off? Now you can cut these, but sometimes, you know, if you're using a cutter like this, you might end up damaging whatever, if it's especially if it's a wire bundle of some kind. So the safety mechanism is you get your tie wrap. This is, I'm just guessing based on some of the stuff I've read, but it doesn't seem to be, you know, published knowledge exactly how these work. But I'm guessing that in order to preserve the integrity of whatever the tie wrap or the cable tie is wrapped around, is that you literally just destroy the mechanism that holds the cable wrap in place. So I just crushed it, and then see if I can get it off of there. Maybe I'll go a little smaller here. So there it is, and just smash it. And now it shouldn't be able to hold. Maybe I have to grab it and pull or something. Yeah, I can loosen it up. Maybe I'll try it this way. Been just destroying cables. Obviously, if this was a dedicated plier, I think you could really design it differently. So I mangled that pretty good. It's actually showing the integrity of of one of these tie wraps. Let's try a bigger one here. I'll go ahead and do this guy. See what happens. And this one is plastic on the inside, not metal. So go ahead and pull that on tight. Use my tie wrap pliers to grab that. Snug it down. There it is. It's on there nice and tight. And then I'm going to go to my destruction mode and crush this thing. If I can, there we go. Man, that is strong. I'm breaking it. Interesting. Maybe this way? I don't know. Maybe twist it. I mean, I've certainly loosened it up. But yeah, there we go. Now it slides out. Let's try it once more with a metal one. Here we go. Slide this in. Use my pliers for this. You can activate these, you know, like that. Open them, close them, open them, close them like a knife or something. So I'll grab this, cinch this up. If I can. Still got more tests. It's going to be a long video. Anyway, so there it is. However you tighten the metal ones. So it's on there. So then go into my destruction mode. Got to open it up one more click. So this, how would you get that thing off? So I'd grab it and crush and really wedge that thing on there, huh? I know you're going to fill the comments with you're doing it wrong, but I couldn't find any videos of people trying to do this, so if you know of one, point it out to me. I don't know. It's a solid metal one. I'm not going to loosen it enough, so I'm going to have to just continue to destroy it, I guess. Well, broke it. So there's that. But anyway, the other test I wanted to do was to use these jaws head-to-head on some non-edged or non-flat surface stock. And you notice the teeth end a little bit prematurely there. But if I grab it, what I'm going to do is use these Cobras again. And see if I can twist this. So I've got the Cobra here, and I'm going to push down on the Cobra and round on this one. And let's see, I guess I can slide it up more towards the end so you can watch. See which way it turns. There's a mark there. So I'm going to squeeze on both. Yeah, I'm really scuffing this up. But the Cobra definitely grabs it tighter. What about other things? Here's a piece of pipe. Let's try that. Something a little bit bigger right there. And the Cobra. Really tight. I mean, that is really grabbing. So the Cobra obviously is, you know, the world's best probably. So this is not too bad. Doesn't compete. What about copper? Now this one I was kind of wondering about. This is where finesse might come in, because I could potentially just crush this. Now I don't know why you would want to try this with copper, but what I'm going to do is see if I can grab a hold of that and grab a hold of this and try this. Okay, the Cobra much better. You can see I'm definitely scuffing this thing up, and I'm crushing it. In fact, yeah, that's going to be a little bit tough, but the Cobra can spin it, whereas this plier wrench, I mean, it's really digging in, which I guess is good, but it's very easy to just smash this thing. Keep going here. Wow. A lot of little adjustments there. So that's crushed. That's what it feels like. Let's see if I can do one more and then I'll crush it with the Cobra. So that smashes down pretty easily. What about with the Cobra here? Definitely crushes it too. So both strong. I don't know what the winner is in the EDC world. This one definitely grabs. I wish I could find my 125s or 150s to compare, but I don't know if that'll make a big difference, because that is just such an effective geometry on those crazy jaws there. But I'm not always grabbing round stuff. I'm not always trying to cut or bust things. A lot of times I'm hanging on to things, or I'm bending things, or my world is just absolutely packed with, you know, these kinds of fasteners. with hex heads. So there it is. You know, so I'm going for a small handle with a high leverage over the really grippy jaws. But you know what? I guess I do have both of them. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts, and I'll maybe revisit this once again. Wanted to do plastic, but I realized the piece I grabbed hit the limitation for jaws. But I think I know what'll happen. This is just too effective. But anyway, there it is. So the 150 in the Pliers wrench without the texture and the 150 with the texture. This is definitely a step up, but still have trouble arguing that it beats the Cobra, but I really do like it, and I like the fit in the hand with the 150. Let me know your thoughts. And with that, Doc out.